In my career, obviously, Maachis will always be my first film, and I learned so much from Maachis. Like my experience is that when I did Maachis, post the shooting getting over, I got back to being clean shaven and short hair and everything like that, and Maachis released, and we used to get calls at that point of time from various people. I would go and meet them, and they would say, "No, no, no, no. Guess who have you come to meet or whatever?" I said, "Somebody called so and so had called me and said, come and meet me for this particular role and all that." "Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, 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 no. We were looking at that Jimmy, and long hair and a little bit of beard and, that kind of this thing." So they couldn't relate to me with this kind of a look or whatever. Mohabbatein gave me that recognition.
Yes, yes. Mohabbatein
that is what they saw on screen, and that is what I was. It was a very special film. I think we took so many risks for that particular movie, and shot in places which were so volatile at that point of time. It's amazing if I go anywhere, maybe depending on where you're going, maybe a USA or a overseas or any part of India. I mean, they never forget about Munna Bhai MBBS and Zahir Bhai, and all that, whatever.
Jimmy, thank you so much for your time today. It's your birthday. You turn a year older, and this is also very important year for you because you complete 25 years in the industry. So very, very important occasions that we're speaking to you on. So very happy birthday to you. What are the plans like?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No plans here. We've stopped making plans now in this pandemic. Now there is no use also making plans. While we are making plans, there's another variant which is coming up and all that, whatever. So I think one should go with the flow, be safe, and be with your family and enjoy yourself.
You complete 25 years in the industry. We would in fact be revisiting the most important projects of your life. Let's begin with Your Honor, because the reviews have been really positive. People have been lauding you for your stellar performance in the show.
What happened with the first season was that it kind of left everyone with the urge to watch a season 2 at the end of the first season, which was an amazing thing, because then they forget everything that, it's a different kind of a show, it's a little slow at times, whatever, but they were enjoying the emotion, and all of a sudden, when in the end the thrill element comes, is when they just started feeling that they need to know more about this story and they want to watch a season 2. So obviously the makers, if the first season does well, is when they come up with the idea of a second season, because if it does not do well, then there's no use making a second season. So, but this one, yes, I mean, they were very, very sure about what they want in the second season, what all the audiences felt was a little slow, or anything that they felt was not this thing. They worked on those things. And they came up with this second season, and which is far more thrilling, exciting, more pacier.
So this is 2021, Jimmy. Let's go back to the beginning, which was 1996, when we got the first glimpse of the actor, the star Jimmy Sheirgill. This was a very important film of your career because this was Gulzar's Maachis. And I've read, how you got the role. But tell us, what was the first meeting with Gulzar Saab like? I mean, what brief were you given? And what did you have in mind? Were you apprehensive, or were you absolutely confident, of the role that had come your way, and you knew what the journey ahead was like?
I think as far as all the memories of Maachis are concerned, it's all so fresh in my mind as if it just happened probably yesterday, because it was my first film, and everything to do with that film is absolutely fresh in my mind. coming to my first meeting with Gulzar Saab, I don't know. It was funny. It was a very interesting scene. Anybody can write today, because you feel you want to gather all the courage because you're meeting a Gulzar Saab, and you are just on the verge of finishing your acting classes, and you know that if nothing works out, you will probably be asked to come back home by your parents, and they would say that come back because nothing is happening or whatever. So the idea was that I just want to join Gulzar Saab on this movie and learn everything from him, and because I knew nothing about filmmaking. So my idea was just be on the sets as an assistant director, whether it's the ninth or the 10th assistant or whatever. But I just want to not go back home. That was the idea. And I also felt that it's a great opportunity to start my career and learn everything about filmmaking from such a big legend like Gulzar Saab. But then I don't know, everything just started going haywire because I said that, sir, I want to join you as an assistant. So he asked me, what do you do? So I said, sir, I do my acting classes. So it was like, if you're doing acting classes, why would you want to get into direction? So I didn't know what to say. I said, sir, so I was very honest. And I told him, I said, sir, I've heard that nobody gives you a break before 5-7 years, and I'm not from the industry. I don't even know anybody over here. So my thing is, I don't want to go back home. So I would much rather be here and do something that I like doing, and which is like being in the movies and learning about how movies are made and whatever. I'll work really hard on it. I know it's my first thing. So he said, "Kaun kehta hai?" I said, "I don't know. That's what I've heard while I've been doing my acting classes for the past couple of years or whatever." And a whole lot of other things. I mean, he asked me stuff about so many things, basically, about Urdu, about Hindi, about everything. And then, yeah, and said, at the end of the conversation, he was more like, you do one thing. My script is being translated outside by one of my assistants. So read the script, and then you meet me after a couple of days, and then we'll talk. And that's when I sat, read the entire script. I remember I had tears. I was like, because I could relate to everything in the thing, because those are the things that had happened when I was back home in Punjab and in UP and everything. So then I meet him the next day or the next day, and he asked me, "So you read?" I said, "Yes, I loved it." And so he said, "So if you were given a choice, which character would you just?" I said, "Sir, all the characters." "No, but what characters would you like?" I said, "All of them are brilliant." So then finally he said that if you were given a choice to choose a character, which one would you choose? So I knew, I knew Chandrachud from before. I knew Chandrachud was doing one role, and Tabu was also a part of it. Then there was Kulbhushan Kharbanda, and then there was Om Ji, everybody. So I started thinking out of those other characters, which one. Then I suddenly said that, "Sir, I think I'll choose that Jamal Singh's role." So he said, "Why would you choose Jamal's role?" And I said that because even my nickname happens to be Jimmy. Because I met Gulzar Saab as just Jimmy Sheirgill, which is my real name. And he said, "Okay." So I said, "Yeah." He said, "What a coincidence." And anyways, leave aside all these coincidences. Now the thing is that you do one thing, you grow a beard and grow your hair, and you are doing this film. I went out and I only told my family about it, and I told Chandrachud about it, because Chandrachud was in the same classes, and obviously he was also very happy because we knew each other since We were in Delhi earlier, and now together in one movie. So yeah, so I think lovely memories, and then onwards we all started
Right. So this
working hard.
Yes. So this was 1996, and right 4 years later, you get Mohabbatein. And two very different, very interesting roles we see you in. Because these were like, the most talked about films. Of course, you did other projects also between
Yeah.
1996 and 2000. But then came Mohabbatein. So would you then consider Maachis to be the right, way to take off your career?
In my career, obviously, Matches will always be my first film, and I learned so much from Matches that probably when I was uh, auditioning and look testing and everything for Mohabbatein, all that did help me. The fact that I had done a Matches before did help me. But as far as people's perception is concerned, I like my experience is that when I did marches post the shooting getting over, I got back to being clean shaven and short hair and everything like that, and marches released, and we used to get calls at that point of time from various people. I would go and meet them, and they would say, no, 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 no. Guess who have you come to meet or whatever. I said, somebody called so and so had called me and said, come and meet me for this particular role and all that. Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, 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 no. We were looking at that Jimmy, and long hair and a little bit of beard and that kind of this thing. So they couldn't relate to me with this kind of a look or whatever. So and same is the case with the people as well, because nobody, I mean, even if you told somebody that he was a part of Maachis, and they would wonder which role in Maachis. Maachis was at that point of time a very, very popular film. Everybody had watched it, and there would be discussions in dinners, in parties, in other places, everywhere about Maachis, and the song had become such a big hit, and they could not. Kind of, they could not figure out like which part I played in matches. So the thing was that nobody could recognize me. Mohabbatein gave me that. Mohabbatein gave me that recognition,
Yes,
because
yes. Mohabbatein
that
gives.
is what they saw on screen, and that is what I was. So obviously,
Yes.
Mohabbatein would also be.
So while Big Bachchan was, saying Parampara, Pratishtha, Anushasan, it was actually Jimmy that maximum girls were ruling over. Jimmy, you had won so many hearts right from your first film, but I think with Mohabbatein, the fan base only grew stronger.
Yeah, like I said, that with Mohabbatein, it was you saw me the way I was, and obviously I'll always cherish those moments uh, before we started shooting for Mohabbatein also, because it was like almost like a complete schooling for us guys before we started shooting. So whether it was dance, whether it was your grooming, whether it was your anything, everything was just taken good care of and polished up, and finally, we were ready for the shoot and we shot. And I still remember being so nervous with Mr. Bachchan, SRK, and the conflict between those two characters and us guys getting rubbed in the middle, but our reactions were like when Mr. Bachchan used to deliver those dialogues, Parampara, Pratishtha, Chasan, all that, happening, and we were just looking at him like that, and those moments were captured, and yeah.
Okay, and the next film came Yahaan, which was in 2005. Anything that you would like to change about that film? What an interesting film. Indo-Pak as the backdrop, Kashmir. It was, the entire story was set in Kashmir. You fall for a Kashmiri girl, and then, the story unfolds how you chase the girl's brother. Was Yahaan a special film for you?
Oh yes, it was a very special film. I think we took so many risks
Hmm.
uh, for that particular movie, and shot in places which were so volatile at that point of time. Crazy experiences, and it was Sujit's passion and us guys being excited for the film, and whatever. And it was also something very, very different that I was doing from the usual stuff that I was doing. So I was very excited about it, and I don't think I would want to change anything. The only thing that if I want to change about the whole scenario is when it released, Mumbai was hit by floods and all that, whatever, which created a big this thing for theaters and everything like that. If I have to remove something, I would remove those floods out of the scenario.
So, Sahib, Baby or Gangster, another very important film for you. And of course, Tanu Weds Manu. And the Tanu Weds Manu returns. How would you see these three important projects of your career shaping your decisions for the next films that you were interested in?
I would like to add 2-3 more films in this, which I feel were game changers for me at that point of time. One was a film called Haasil.
Haasil, yes.
Yeah, so it all started with that one. And then there was Munna Bhai MBBS.
Munna Bhai.
At that point of time, I was doing solo leads and doing hero projects, but somewhere I was like, I need to get out of this, and I need to do things which are more intense, which are more this thing. Otherwise, this entire same thing of being a chocolate boy and just doing all these songs and dances and all that, whatever. I said, I don't see myself doing these for very long, so I need to keep reinventing in this thing. That is how first Haasil happened, then Munna Bhai happened, and especially at a time when a few days back only your 2 films have released, and both have been very good. They fared very well at the box office. Very well means very, very well. One was Dil Hai Tumhara, and one was Mere Yaar Ki Shaadi Hai, and for that I think was Dil Vil Pyar Vyar. So those kind of these things, and then you do a film like Munna Bhai MBBS, and it's amazing if I go anywhere, maybe depending on where you're going, maybe a USA or overseas or any part of India. I mean, they never forget about Munna Bhai MBBS, and there's Zahir Bhai and all that, whatever. So yeah, I mean, that's one thing. And then A Wednesday, when they said intense, so he can do intense roles also. There's that, and suddenly A Wednesday releases, and they said that he can do angry young man also. Achha, ye bhi kar leta hai.
Which sort of gave you that image of angry young man of Hollywood.
Yeah, and then
that's cement.
Sai Bibi, Gangster, and Tanu Weds Manu Part 1. Sai Bibi again was something which was very different, because when Timanshu had told me just the concept that there is a Saib, there is a PV, and there is a gangster, but this gangster happens driver, and this is what happens, and this is how I'm planning to shoot it. So I like the concept. I said, this is very, very interesting. And so what do we do? How do we get going with it? So kuch nahi, just muh ugalo aur hum log shooting shuru karenge. And that's how it all happened. And we all just got together and made one film without, charging anything or whatever. It was just that people who wanted to work with each other, they all got together and went and made a film and came back, and then rest is history. And still you have people talking about the scene, saying the same dialogue and everything. And then the second and the third were continuations of the same thing. But
one question. Yes. But one question, Jimmy. We all loved you for your acting prowess, for the way you looked. But ladki kabhi kyun nahi milti thi Jimmy ko? Why? I mean, there's a movie, Munna Bhai, all you get is the lap dance. Then in rest of the films, you lose the girl to other guys. And I think Mohabbatein was one film where you actually finally get the girl, but वो भी उसके attention के लिए see क्यों नहीं मिलता है Jimmy को कभी भी? Why can't Jimmy get the girl?
मोहब्बतें के बाद से कोई दशा महादशा चेंज हो गई होगी, कुछ ऐसा आ गया होगा कि अब लड़की नहीं मिलेगी इसको, तो मगर अच्छा है लड़कियां ना मिलने तो ज्यादा घर में भी जो है वो इनसिक्योरिटीज जो है वो कम हो जाती हैं और लोगों का प्यार जो है वो बढ़ जाता है.
This is so wonderful speaking to you about all the projects that have been special for your career, and we really hope to see you in more such projects so that fans keep watching you, fans keep loving you, and more of Punjabi films as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You take care. Thank you.
Thank you.